Hi, we're live. It says, promises me. StreamYard promises me that I'm live. I don't see anybody else out there yet. I didn't get any questions in my comments. I guess every problem everyone's ever had has been resolved because nobody had any questions at all. They had compliments. Thank you for liking the Advent thing. And I did day 3 with Scott today, and that was fun. I've got 10 of them already taped. I've got 10 of them already taped, and I'm working on getting those of you who have not been scheduled yet. It's me. Um, my Zoom decided to start sending me strange messages like, we can no longer post your Zoom meetings on your calendar. That spent 30 minutes of chat time with someone getting that straightened out. You can put your questions in caps in the comments, and I will try to catch them the best I can. So I'm going to start my thoughts out with some things that I've been looking at. Winter Solstice, 21st of uh, December. If you live in the central part of the United States where I do, it's going to happen exactly at 3:19 in the morning. Now, can I tell you that I am not going to be standing outside at 3:19 in the morning saying, "Hello, winter"? I'm going to be snuggling under my super lovely duvet and saying, "We'll talk about it in the morning." But that's what we're building to. Um, and everybody should be. Okay. I'll because it's your. I'll explain your bracelet problem. What's the other thing since I got into Advent calendars and was looking up stuff about Advent calendars and where they came from and how they built, da 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 da. They actually were born out of the Christian tradition of having the 4 Sunday Advent candles, and there are 3 green ones and 1 pink one, and the pink one is on the Sunday before Christmas um, that uh, where they honor Mary, and um, we I never lit Advent candles in my family. We were Presbyterians, and they didn't do that much. And then when my mother became an Episcopalian, half the house was Presbyterian, half was Episcopalian, and they still didn't do it. So, but they did it when I attended church regularly. Uh, went to the Episcopal church, and they have them. And I had a very strict priest. The only sort of greenery or understanding Christmas was coming. Nothing happened until baby Jesus was born. And all of a sudden, Christmas Eve, everything was Christmas. They had people at the church that would show up and decorate absolutely everything all at once. Um, but I was looking up different Advent calendars, and I started off, it sent me to some where people had opened other kinds of ways of doing crystal uh, Advent calendars. And there apparently are crystal stores on Etsy that sell 24, and they sell 24 days worth of crystals, and their crystals are considerably more impressive than my crystals, but then again their crystals are considerably more expensive than my crystals. And they also one I watched was dealing with a crystal store that sells lots of carved crystals, mushrooms and puppies and things like that. I tend to have crystals tumbled or raw. And I really like my little calendar so far. I'm really pleased with how it's working out. And since I've already opened up to day 10, it's amazing how the stone that shows up matches with the person who, this is synchronicity we look for. This is telling me that this is real. Like the one for today was Scott. Um, it's Scott Kuby, who I read with on Sundays from Spiritual Essence. And when we opened up his little door, it was a chevron amethyst. And he said, "Oh, I have an amethyst." And he pulled up this huge globe of an amethyst. And I mean, it's huge. It's a big one. And someone had made it for him, had made for him in Nepal, where they do a lot of really intricate tumbling. And it was a chevron amethyst. Chevron amethysts are different from regular amethysts in that they have white inclusions. And the first breeder was Dorothy Morgan. And the stone, they called it white turquoise in the box, but there's no such thing as white turquoise. White turquoise is dolomite or howlite. Dolomite and howlite are the same thing. There's lots of stones that have the same names. And she has a beautiful ring she wears all the time, and it's a beautiful howlite stone. So it's kind of working out to be very interesting to see how these all come out. We've already gotten a fossil among our stones of remembrance, and as you know, if you follow me at all, there are what we call ancestor stones, and those are stones that were part of, were alive at one time, and we have their fossilized remains so we can remember that. That's where amber comes from, and that was from pine trees in primordial, way long time ago for us, and petrified wood. And petrified wood actually happens to be the state stone of Texas. And that was even before they knew the Republicans were going to try to run everything. And the other one now, and seashells that are solidified, that become fossilized. And the seashell we got was a Orthoceras, and it's over 500. It's 500 million years old. It's older than me. It's really old, and those are the sort of, as I say, these are the breadcrumbs that Mother Earth leaves for us to see how our life can move forward and where things are. And right now we're heading towards, on the 21st, we will have the December solstice. And I want people to start thinking about that, because each day now gets shorter and shorter and shorter till the 21st, which will be the shortest day of the year. And then it's sort of a crappy representation, but that's the sun in the middle, and the earth is tilted with the north. Like if you think this is south and that's north, this is the South Pole. So that's the warmest day of the year in the southern hemisphere. And it's the shortest and the coldest. Traditionally, it would be colder. But it's really our trip into the dark, our trip into the loss of light, Light. And then we will get light, and it will come back, and it will start to grow. And then when the vernal equinox, or the spring equinox, and the fall equinox, or September's equinox, the sun is exactly in between the 2 points it moves from, up here to down here. Well, I can't show it to you, but above the equator to below the equator. And on those 2 dates, in September and March, it's actually at the equator, and the days are as close as they can come to being equal. The interesting thing that I've been waiting for this December solstice is that I don't know if any of you heard, they were doing I was part of a meditation yesterday afternoon, because Pam Gregory said Rory Duff could use some healing. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's going on, but that was the call. So I tied in at the time. It was 1 o'clock my time. I meditated on that. And Rory Duff is the guy that I first heard about Ley Lines from. Also, interspatial energy and a lot of other things that have become to interest me and help me understand the world better. So I think it's kind of ironic because Rory was so excited about this winter solstice. The ley lines that I talk about, which are the energy lines that go around the earth, are getting straighter and straighter and wider, and they're supposed to lock in place at this winter solstice. And I just find it ironic that he would be getting unwell at this time. Um, let's see. But the solstice itself is a time. It's a time for us to look at into the darkest part and to see the light emerge at the end of it. If you've studied any of the great stone formations, other than Stonehenge, which does do something at the winter solstice, the sun rises over a different stone on the thing, but all of those things were tied together through the movement of the sun and the moon, and mostly the sun and the moon, and mostly the moon. And they so it's going to be a very powerful time on the 21st of December. A lot of the earth tightening up is going to happen then. And like I said, there's lots and lots and lots of different Advent calendars. I saw one that I thought would be very interesting if I still lived where I had a garden. There's an Advent calendar that sends you, you open each day, you open up a different packet of seeds, and that gives you all how to grow it in your climate and all that sort of stuff. Lots of different ways we can take this season of contemplation and thinking about growth and thinking about change in our lives and move it forward in a positive way. And that's what I hope we would all be doing. Let's see. Okay, we're going to start with some of your questions now. Since, like I said, we didn't have any posted. That's the first time that's ever happened. That I didn't have any posted comments at all. Might have something to do with the fact I didn't post this was going to be on until 9 o'clock last night. But okay, this is the first question. And I don't need to put a card down on this one. I know what the answer to this is. Your body has a polarity to it. And your dominant hand, the one you write with, and for those who have, really they can only do things with that one side of their body. That's your doing side. The other side of your body is your receiving side. So, Debbie, I don't know. But if the gemstones are constantly falling off of your left hand, it means your left hand wants to be completely open so you can receive information and receive things now. That's what it wants to do. If it was the dominant hand or the hand that does stuff, it would tell you you're doing too much. When my wrist went, the spiritual message on that was that I was trying to grab for too much or do too much. So when you think about your right and your left hand, that's what I say it is. So first of all, don't put gemstones over there. Put them on your right hand if that's it just depends. Put it on the hand that's not losing things. And see how that works. See if you feel more balanced. Because your body's trying to open up the passages into your center so that you can get the energy. Ooh, J.A. just got her garden and she just got familiar with it. And J.A., I will be sending you an invitation to join our Saturday Oracle Garden. We may be moving that. I'm going to take, when I have a list of all the people who have gardens, I'm going to find out what's a better day and time than Saturday. But we've had a Saturday group going for almost 2 years. And Gino, I hope things are feeling better around you. This is cute. My mom used to make us Advent calendars, and her very German mother taught her the way long before Hallmark. Yes, they're an ancient tradition, and it's really kind of a nice way to not have everything have to end up being that one big item that you get for Christmas. But and you can open it. I've got my daughter a Walker's shortbread cookies calendar, and when you get the things, the sweets that are in those sort of calendars, there usually are enough of a sweet that you only want to have one anyway. Okay, we got a real question. Not that yours wasn't real, shifting veils, but this is one I can read cards on. Can I take a look at the rest of the year for you? Yes, I can. And you can even see it. What could be more fun? Oops. Opening up presents. Let's see. I'm going to do a 5-card read on this. I'm going to see if the rest of the year is going to move positively for you. You use my sparkly cards. They're very pretty. They're very ornate. And they kind of look like holiday sort of things ought to be. So we're going to use these cards. Heavenly Blessed Honey. What's the rest of your year look like? Well, you've been stalling on anything, that's going to end because your hangman's reversed. You're getting some evil out of your life. You're moving. Things are going to really start moving for you by the end of the year. And it has to do with jobs and things outside of your home. And it's going to be your choice. You got a good end of this year. There's some stuff that's been hanging fire and you want to get rid of it. Well, you're getting rid of it, and that's good because it's evil stuff. You've got your chariot, which means you're in charge. You're large and in charge, and you're driving the chariot. And then it has to do with the emperor, the rules of the world. You're going to feel a lot better than you have been about certain rules that you've been having to live under. And your out card for the end of the year is, it's all your choice. Which way do you want to go? You're at the beginning and at the end. So you have complete freedom. But the best part, I think, on this is you're getting rid of the hanging man. Okay, let's see who else we got. I saw a couple more down here. Well, I have better health in 2025. Okay. Lois. Yes, not immediately. You've had a really hard time finding someone who could really help diagnose it in a way that makes it treatable. This is your doctor. You'd be better off. I think you're going to eventually switch to a woman doctor. It's not that your doctor's a bad doctor. He just doesn't understand what's going on. A lot of it has, I mean, of course, when you're not feeling well, then that sets a mood, and then you continue to feel not well, and you actually kind of feel worse because you don't feel well. But I see that that's passing away, and you have a whole new beginning. You're going to have a whole change of heart, and you, like the other lovely lady, are going to get to be driving the boat. So I think when you start asking more questions, if what they're treating with you with is not working, or if they offer to switch you to a woman doctor, or if a woman doctor becomes part of your treatment, that's going to make a big difference. It's going to help your mental health, your mental part of it too, to feel like someone's really looking at it. And this is a great, yeah, that's a big yes, that 2025 is going to be better for you. Let's see who else we got. Oh, this is the same lady who's losing. You're right. Yeah. Your body's seeking balance, kiddo. That's what is going on. And it's giving you a very physical way with your crystals. I'm going to read this. It should have been in capitals. That's why it says along the bottom, please post questions in caps. I assume you want your writing career to improve. So that's the way I'm going to ask the question. That's why we reframe questions, so that we know the cards have half a shot at being able to answer it. As a writer, oh, okay. I don't know if this is true or not, but with this card, I think someone ripped off your idea once before, and you're coming back with it, and it is your own original idea. This is you. She's holding a pen to write with. You're not going to have to move your location from where you are to get there. You can sit where you are and make it work. You've got someone you're going to come into your relationship in the writing who's going to help you collaborate. Yeah, this person is going to bring a big, huge change into your life. And this is how. They know the ropes. They know how to get things done. They're not contentious. They don't call. You may have worked with editors before and they were so contentious you didn't want to deal with it anymore. But this person is going to bring a big change into your life that's going to be very helpful. This is, don't worry about, I mean, it's your stories, your ideas, your frame of mind that's bringing it forth. Don't worry about that. And you're gonna be in a big learning curve. But I think it's gonna turn out. It looks like a yes. It looks like it's gonna make a change, and it's mostly because of that new. Well, you're writing good stuff, but you have to work with the right collaborators, or it's not gonna help. Oh, Louise says she just got a new female doctor and a new diagnosis. Good. I think she's going to know what's going on with you. And it's not that the guy was a bad doctor. He got kind of settled in what he knew. Okay. I'm going to call you Melody. My tongue is not into tongue twisters today. So, Melody, could you please tell me what December looks like for me, please? And thank you. December. Very interesting cards. You're coming out of yourself. You've been in hiding, and you've been, in part because you've been going through so much transition in your spiritual self, you've kind of stayed hidden. But now you don't want to be defensive. You don't want to be hidden from what's going on around you. You're giving up the little safe sanctuary that you've been hiding in because you're ready to burst forth and face what's going on around you. And I think some of it has to do with a male that you have had contentious relationships with. You got the King of Wands here upside down. So this all may circle around an individual who's been very difficult to work with. And you may have figured out a way to either work your way around him or work with him and turn him into someone positive. But Judgment is an extremely powerful card. And Judgment means that all the things you've been working on come and enlighten you and help you move to the next level. So I think your December looks good. Jen, will I find my spiritual healing mentor soon? I just found out to my great granny was a curandera. I think I've heard that word, curandera healer. Okay, let's see if Jen's going to find her mentor. I have a funny mentor story. When I was first working with crystals, I was one of the few people out there at that time that was working with them the way I was. And I got an email from this woman, and she said, you're supposed to be my mentor. And I was like, okay, that's kind of ballsy, but yeah. And she said, I'd like to start mentoring with you. What would it take? Well, I thought about it, and it was right at the beginning of my YouTube channel. And I was like, as anybody who's trying to coordinate with me on the 24 days of Advent can tell you, I can be the most organized or the most disorganized person in the universe. And so I was like, I don't want to take this woman on and have her get all wound up. I don't have a curriculum. I don't have anything to start with. So I wrote her a lovely email that just basically said, I'm sorry, I just really don't do that. I don't know how to do that. Thank you, Lois. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to me. Let's see. So I finally said to her, I can't be your mentor. I mean, basically, this is as nice as you could say it. And she got that email and she stomped around her bedroom that whole night, she told me later. And she was so angry. And if you knew, and it's Alma who helped me design all my stuff that I sell, but she just called, she wrote me back and said, no, you are going to be my mentor. And I really just want to talk to you. Let me have a few minutes of your time. So I was like, oh, okay. So I called her up and we started talking, and I just told her I don't have a real curriculum for this. I don't know how to mentee anybody, but she had a degree in geology and was very interested in looking at that. So I agreed to just start working with her, meeting with her once a week and just talking. And she, out of that grew the garden and the eggs and a lot of the other stuff I do. And she is now in Florida, and she's starting an e-business, and we're working out some details about maybe some of the items that I do she could handle. She's finding investors in the products she does. She does a lot of work with crystals and a lot of work with things. But, you know, I was determined I wasn't going to be her mentor. And now I'm not her mentor anymore. I'm just her good friend. And she's turned out to be a great friend to me. So let's see. Jen Miranda's mentor. It's going to come later, not like sooner, but your problem is you have to understand, excuse me, when you go into doing and there's a man who um, is he can be very strong and very helpful to you, but your problem is you worry too much instead of just you're trying to push it and make it happen faster than it should. And you've got another man that you've got helped relied on for emotional support, but when you try to break away and become your own person, he's not going to be real happy about that. And let me see what the deal is with him. He wants things the way they are now. He doesn't want them to change. And inevitably it'll change if you become a healer and learn more about your gifts. But I see by the end of the year, you're standing in the Two of Wands, you're beginning to see how to use your gifts. So I think you're going to be more connected to the King of Wands and less connected to this man. Or it could be a very strong woman who's been a strong emotional support to you. And these three cards read out. It means that it messes up the relationship you have with that person. You're not going to be their be all and end all. And means you're driving your own way and finding your own ways. So what these cards tell me is, yes, you're going to do that this year. And yes, it does pass through bloodlines of people. But what you can do is, if you can do something about this Nine of Swords, what is your Nine of Swords problem? You have financial concerns about doing it. It's about keeping everything balanced. And you want to take care of everybody else. Jen, to do what you want to do, you're just going to have to become what you would look at from the outside and say is a selfish bitch. You're not. You have got to spend time and energy on doing this. And if that means this person's every need isn't met, that's just too bad. Because for you to take care of you, you can either live in this constant state of trying to. This is not a pretty picture. If you want us to live in this constant state of worry, I think the Nine of Swords is one of the hardest cards in the deck because it's not over. At least if you're stabbed and you're done with the Ten of Swords, you're done. But when you're at the Nine of Swords, you're right in the middle of this. This is all the 3 o'clock nightmares and all that stuff. So what I tell you to do is to slow down, take time every day, just a little bit of time for yourself. Learn how to get greedy with your own sense of self. And I don't know if you journal, if you write, if you do what. But you are the one who's in charge of this. You need to let go of the people who take your time and distract you from moving on. And you need to find that person. And I think you already have found a mentor who can help guide you and lead you. So that would be my interpretation of what's going on in your life right now. Go for being who you are, because that's something no one can ever take away from you. Yeah. Happy Giving Tuesday. That's right. It's just a day when you can give to a lot of charities and their money gets upped and doubled and stuff. Hello to everyone. Is there a message for my dislocated right hip? Please. Okay. Let's see. I want everybody to send Sandra some healing energy. If you know how to do it, please don't just send energy because you never know how that's going to end up. Send good thoughts and kind thoughts to her healing, and I'm going to ask if your healing's going to go more quickly than they anticipate. Because I think right now they're giving you some long numbers. I've never had a bad hip, so I don't know. I know about knees. Talked about them for years. Let's see what's going on around Sandra's hip. Well, girl, you've got just about one of the happiest readings I've seen in a long time. This says the Knight of Wands. He moves quickly. He spreads a lot of help. He has a lot of energy around him. You're going to have the strength coming out of you to heal this. You're working with the right people to get it all relocated. But this is your warnings. Don't push it. And if you'd been thinking about moving or changing anything, don't do any of that. Wait until, if you were thinking about moving or relocating or going somewhere, doing something, wait until this is settled, because right now you have the pattern set up to get well. Get the Two of Cups here. And you have people who can come and help you. If you push it, you can sort of set yourself backwards. Instead of moving forward, you're going to move backwards. But I hope that works for you, dear, because there's nothing like sitting around with a broken something or a dislocated something to make you nuts. Gino wants advice from your guides. Okay, send me 5 cards. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use, this is one of my newer Oracle decks. I really like it. It's Wisdom of the Fairies. And they're going to tell you where to go and what to do. It's a really nice set. And I like the messages. Oh, I do know one Christmas gift I'm getting. My daughter Casey found a fairy houses to put in the garden, and they're solar powered, so they light up at night. So the fairies, they have light at night too. I have one little space in front of my house, and we went out and even measured to make sure it was going to fit in that one little space. I mean, I know they're in the house. I'd kind of like to have them have a nice place to go vacation and leave my cards alone, but don't know that they're going to do that. Let's see. Jean, what's your guide saying? Okay. You pulled the Chakra Fairy. Isn't she pretty? Wow. She's pretty. Okay. And I'm going to read you about the Chakra Fairy because the things in here are really good. What you missed by one card was the Brat. Now you got the Chakra Fairy. Keyword is alignment. Your guides are telling you to get yourself aligned. Chakras are whirling spheres of energies that hold you and your astral and etheric bodies together with the physical body. They channel the energy. All is well with these as long as these fields of energy are in alignment. Hence, however, if they become bogged down they become bogged down, they cannot spin at the right vibrations, that can cause you to have issues. Problems will include ill health, low energy, depression, mental and emotional conditions. Oh, I've been through this, guys. This is what I went through when my chakras decided we're all going to go somewhere else, but with you. Just be comfortable and warm enough to be able to relax thoroughly. Now you can begin breathing regularly and start with deep breaths. And after a few breaths, move down into steady breathing so that you can sort of pull the beads all together into alignment. And when you can line them up, that becomes the finishing touches on strengthening your whole body. And they can eat, it can just be a couple of them. They're a little bit out of line. It can be that they're all out of line. I have a feeling they're telling you to do this because I kind of know some of the stuff's been going on around you, Jean, and you're in a very difficult time. You're planning your business, you're building a house, you're doing lots of other things. And all that can have, each of the little chakras can say, but I'm more important because we should be over here doing this. You need to get them to all understand that you're in charge and large and in charge, and get them all in a straight line. And in order to do this, you can do some sort of a chant like, I recognize the patterns of energy that flow through and about my body. These energies are perfect, divine balance. My health is radiant. My mind is clear. I am in harmony. I give thanks to Spirit, so be it. And it says, if you really want to give yourself a physical activity doing this, go find a top or something that you can spin and watch it to spin. You can spin a coin with your finger if you're clever. And watch that spinning, and it will teach you how to balance all those chakras back. So, and that kind of looks like you when you're in some of your dance outfits. So I think that's what they're telling you today. Balance, girl. That's what they're telling all of us right now is balance. Let me see. Oh, it's past life stuff. Do my parents have a message for me? Yes. And I do my parent. Yeah. Celtic Seer, I'm going to go get my Talking to Heaven. I don't have to walk a long way to get this. It's just on the other side of the table, but you're talking to a person with very short arms. Okay. There they are. It's Jane from Prague. So what is a message from Celtic Seer's family, from her parent today? Parents. I think it should have had an S in it. I'm not sure. From Matt Force on the other side. Okay. Oh, okay. What they're letting you know is that as a soul, I can be in several places at once. And sometimes you wonder about when they're out there doing this, how they can be with you and other people. I think you already know this. Okay. As a soul, I can be several places at once. Without the human body, I am free. And how amazingly new abilities. I can travel any place in almost any dimension with just a thought. It's like living in one of those flying dreams that you and I discussed. So I can be with you as often as you need me. It won't hold me back from my spiritual growth. So I'm urging you to go forward. Whoops, wrong page. And if you miss my presence, just say the word and I'll come to your side instantly. Although I'm not technically an angel because I still have my human ego to deal with and learn about. I am like the angel to you. I will do my best to protect you always, and you can count on me for continuing love. So that's a beautiful statement. And I know Celtic, it's hard this time of year when you flash back on the things your family used to do together and how all that worked. And she's from Ireland too, and your Irish families have tons of things. This is Jen. It makes 100% sense. Good. I'm glad that worked. I've always been worried about what other thoughts. So don't worry about them. Go ahead and take care of yourself. They'll survive. Matter of fact, that may be the next part of their lessons, is learning to take care of things without worrying about you. Okay, and we're wishing Sandra this for her hip. Healing is coming your way. And this is another way you can donate is through PayPal. And that's my handle is at Crystal Directions. It's one word. Okay, I'm getting a lot of the people I read telling me things. Okay. Can I heal my gallbladder, or do I have to have it removed? The doctor says remove it. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to ask the universe, should she have her gallbladder removed? My daughter got hers removed. She thought she had the flu, and she was just feeling a little sick, and she ended up in the hospital. And when they took it out, the whole gallbladder was a stone, and she was really messed up for a little bit. But she's never. I mean, it really solved a lot of other health problems she'd had that we could never figure out. Why is she doing that? That's so weird. And she was only in her 20s at the time that happened, Jane. So. This is remove it. It says no, but I don't believe it, because if you don't, you're going to have a real problem. You just don't like the idea of someone else running your body. Let's see. I'm going to ask if your doctor is a good physician, and that'll help me. And if that's a no, then I just say go get a second opinion. Gallbladders are tricky things, and you start messing with that part of your body. I'd go get a second opinion. He's not a bad doctor, because some of these cards reversed are actually better than they are upright. But he wants what's best for you. But I'd go get if you're still questioning should I have it removed or not, I'd get a second opinion. Not from the same practice. And I know that's not always easy to do. Some places don't have a whole lot of people, but my feeling is when I saw your question, Jane, that part of my body started to hurt. So you shouldn't be living in pain. Do your guides have any advice for you? Okay, we're going to use a different oracle deck. This is a really good deck, Angels and Auras. And it was done by Radley Valentine, who does a lot of the tarot decks that I read. And he did it with a guy named Dougal Fraser. And it's the weirdest deck I've ever seen. It actually has reverses on oracle decks. So it's not always just all the upright pictures. And the weird thing about that is Radley does not do reverses in his tarot decks. I don't think he's ever, I know he has not ever designed a deck that had reverses. And when he writes his little white book, like this book that comes along with the deck, he never has reverses in them. And he and I have discussed that because I do read reverses. I don't read his cards reversed because he didn't design them that way. But oh, good. And your piece of advice from your guides is that they're watching over you right now. And that you're supported, protected, loved, and encouraged no matter what you've been feeling, no matter what negative energy you've tied into or whatever. You are really, really encouraged. And when they have these little white books with them, I always read the little white books. And I have so many, I can't remember all of them. So I read them. This card is an absolute divine confirmation that your angels are with you right now. You may be seeing signs and asking yourself, is this a message from my angel? It's perfectly normal to question whether it is, even if we do the same things from time to time. However, this card is your validation that the messages you're receiving from your own angels right now, and that would be their advice to you, Tracy, is listen to them. This card is validation, the message you're receiving right now in nature, to trust these signs, trust your intuition. Your angels are very near you right now. So that's beautiful. And they're sending, that's what they want you to know. You know, a lot of times people say, why can't I hear my guides? They're talking to you all the time. You're just not listening. And you have to slow down to listen. That's kind of one of the consequences of being a human. They move fast and they're in a different frequency, but they're there for you. You just have to slow down enough to listen to. Okay. Okay, Ellen, I can't see that. I can't see where their chakras are out of alignment. The best you can do is if you can meditate at all, there's a lot of really good YouTube meditations on balancing your chakras. And that's what happened to me. Mine all fell apart on one night. And well, all except my throat chakra. It was hanging in there. If you guys ever, if I'm not talking, then you know I'm in real trouble. So, and I did a realignment chakra right before I went to bed that's supposed to lead you to sleep. And when I got into bed, I was so twisted up and feeling bad that I barely made it into the bed. And I managed to turn it on my phone. All the worst things you're not supposed to do before you go to bed, play with phones. But I got it on my phone, set it up, listen to it. And it's an old one that Dr. Gail had suggested to me. Now, if you want to know about chakras, go to Dr. Gail's Skywalking with Moon. Or you can do it either way on YouTube. You'll find her. She can see chakras because she's the one who saw that the reason I couldn't walk and was staggering and was all about to fall down all the time was because my chakras had completely disconnected. It's kind of scary. But I laid down in bed and I thought, oh, this better work. And I listened to it, and I remember the woman who was running the meditation saying, and now you can go to sleep. And about 3 or 4 in the morning, I woke up and I realized I had to turn over. I was in one position for so long. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to move. So I managed to, because I have a weird bed. I have bars at the top on the headboard that I can grab onto and pull myself over. This goes back to having bad knees. And as I pulled myself over, my spine popped from the base to the top of the neck, just like a giant knuckle had gone off. Everything popped back into place. And I realized it was back in place because I could breathe adequately. And breathing's another one of those things that's a sign for me. So anyway, go find, there's Jason Stevenson, there's Pura Rasa. if you just go in at the top of your phone or wherever you get your meditations and type in chakra meditation, it'll give you each individual chakra. But I would suggest for you is that you just start at the beginning and line them all up. And then you can listen to the other ones and see which one might be able to help you more. And that's my alignment story. And I used to not have one. That story's only a month old. So you only get to hear it 400 other times. Let's see. Okay. Celtic Seer's parents have passed. I don't know. I had my eye doctor's mother lived to be 104. You never know. There's all kinds of stories about gallbladders. You just need a second opinion. The lady who asked about her gallbladder before. Okay. Sharon, we all send you love and light, and the best for you and your dog. I know that's difficult. And you don't want to hold on to him, but you don't want to let him go. It's tough. I'm reading the rest of the questions, guys. I'm getting there. Everybody's telling everybody to hit the like and share button. Please do. Okay. I'm at the bottom of my questions. Is 57 minutes. We may get out of here before the hour. Whoa. That's fun. Anyway, remember, guys, this is for information, entertainment purposes only. And one of the reasons I have a lot of problem dealing with people's health problems is because my father was a doctor and I grew up around hospitals. And I saw what it's like when people held on to the very bitter, bitter end. You know, it's better to go get a second opinion and see if that works. And spread a little bit of healing and light. Join me on the Advent thing, because that's to try and bring a little bit of joy, a little bit of life, a little bit of celebration into everyone's life. And with that, I will say good day. Oh, my website's fixed. My web guru, Angeli, fixed it yesterday. There were some pages that weren't showing up. You can now, it's rearranged. You can go right to the catalog and see if you want to get a year reading. I'm still doing year readings. I'm still doing 3-month and regular readings. I'm doing garden readings. I'm doing past life readings. And if you have a friend who's always said, oh, I'd like to try that, but where I'm also, I also can arrange for it to be done on a gift certificate. And we're still signing people up for the tarot class. I just got the most beautiful note from someone who just finished my last class, and she's very sweet, and I'm intending to post it on my site to encourage people to join the class. We have a great time. You're going to meet some of the people who took my class as you watch the Advent calendar, because I invited some of the ones who I've kept up with to join me. And a matter of fact, I think one group that created their own little tarot reading group out of it, they're going to come over and that ought to be a fun day, because we'll have I think we'll have 2 or 3 of them on with me talking about the Advent crystals. So everybody, I'm going to go get some rest. I'm feeling tired, but I will talk to y'all later. Bye.